Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is 10 to 11. We are live at 10 a.m.-ish. Yeah, as we are each and every single weekday. My name is Graham Day. This man in the box is called Baby.
Hello.
And full disclosure. Mark, what's happened to me? Get out of here. What's up? Full disclosure. We may have been doing Pez things in the starting countdown. You know, we're still riding the hype train of last night's Masters of the League stream. For those of you who didn't see, we started our Masters of the League stream, and we had almost 3,700 people. Let's round it up. 4,000 people almost in the stream with us last night. So it was huge, big start. A lot of people, a lot of new faces, a lot of new followers and friends to the channel. So yeah, big things. Anyway, that led on to. For those of you that are PES fans, you may have seen that Fernando Torres has just hit my club, and that's something me and Biv have been kind of looking forward to for a while. Anyway, sat here, getting ready for the stream, the countdown's going, I just hear it, yeah! As Bibby goes, and lands himself Fernando Torres, so there we go. Anyway, good morning, Mr. Asim Tanvir. Hello. No, that's not how it goes.
Asim.
I mean, I need a bit more of a better, like, projection from the hello. How should it go, Bib?
I'm great this morning, so my throat is a little bit dry, so we'll see how this goes. Hello. I'm joking. Hello!
There we go. I was going to say, that's disappointing.
Pour that in it. Right. Just 2 seconds. I need to put some slippers on because I am freezing here. Just 1 sec.
No worries. Anyway, that guy who's getting slippers on is Bibby. My name is Graham. We together are part of the ice cream team, and in true ice creamy naming fashion, this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news from the games industry and beyond. We bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking news stories from the world of video games. We'll give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. We can have a little bit of a backwards and forwards. That's how we do this, and it's important that if you are in the chat, like Asim is dropping the exclusive ice cream uploads hello emote, Mike dropping the Graham and Michael. Who is this Michael? Mike dropping in the chat. Good morning. But if you are in the chat, as those two have, feel free to get involved because we turn this live stream into an on-demand podcast, a video podcast that we upload to youtube.com/ice cream modes. Ice cream uploads, there we go, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you want to get involved in the chat, please feel free to do so because you can chat directly to Bibby on behalf of everyone else. They don't get that opportunity. They get to play, fast forward, rewind, whatever, but they don't get to speak to the man that we call Michael Meehan.
Michael Meehan. You reckon I should change my Twitter name, my actual my handle? To Michael Meehan. I'll just keep it as Bibby.
I think you should keep it as Bibby, but change it to we've got Michael Meehanio.
Yeah, that'll work. It definitely rolls off the tongue anyway.
Let me just do a quick check before we jump in on if I have, because I opened up Epic Games. Reasoning for that you will see later on in the show, but I opened it up on my PC and we're just having a few network dropouts. No, nothing's open. Nobody would know who you are if you change. Imagine that though. Like you change your profile and you tweet something. Everyone's like, "Who the feck is this Michael Meehan?" I've had it a few times where people have changed the names of their accounts, and I've been like, why the fuck do I follow like Teletubby Central or something like that? And then I mean, I actually do follow Teletubby Central, by the way. Just banger of a channel. But
well, that's it. There's only like my nan and my mum and my granddad that call me Michael. Like everybody else just calls me Bibby. So me changing it to my real name would probably like blow a few people's minds, and they just probably won't call it me anyway because they're just so used to calling me Bibby. So
I can't even call you Michael, which is where Mike came from yesterday. Because I mean, even that just feels alien. It feels like high school drama where you're forced to be. You could be Mr. Smith, and people are calling you Mr. Smith, even though you're not Mr. Smith, and they know you're not Mr. Smith. That's me, like Michael.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, does it?
No.
I would like it.
But for those of you that missed it, check out the on-demand video. It's on our previous broadcast on the channel, and you can look back on YouTube now. I believe we got it on YouTube this morning. I say we, once again, Bib. If not, you can watch the intro video definitely on YouTube if the whole thing isn't there. That's just worth it.
I'm just going to check now. I did start exporting I shaved down the beginning bit and obviously the end. Shaved down the countdown and the ending bit, which is why you'll see when we do the scoop those bits are chopped off, so you don't have to sit there for the 3 minutes before the show starts. So I did the usual highlighting stuff, and I started exporting it pretty much as soon as we finished yesterday. Because it's like a 3.5 hour video, it will take a long time to go over, and I'm just going to see now whether or not it did.
It did. Oh,
It did. Sweet.
There's a link to Discord, and there is the link to the Masters of the League pilot episode on YouTube. I'll just put the link directly in there. If you want to check it out, if you missed it, feel free to check that out. Also, whilst you're there, and if you're watching on demand on YouTube as well, you obviously won't have the link, but you can see the video on YouTube. But if you are watching on YouTube, then hit subscribe, hit the little sub button, yeah. I mean, you can do it on Twitch as well, but it costs you money. I mean, we'll take your money if you really want us to, whatever. Anyway, killing that. Are you talking about the Mafia Definitive Edition today?
No, I didn't have it in there.
Yeah, we were kind of. Do you know what we're going to talk about because we've tweeted it. You can see it at Ice Cream Uploads on Twitter if you want it. But the Unreal Engine 5 obviously is going to be the big talking point. So we've kept it to 4 stories there. We'll probably pick up Mafia tomorrow, but Unreal potentially has the potential to be quite a long one. So maybe towards the end we might chuck it in. If not, we'll definitely jump on it tomorrow.
We usually have like four stories in there, and they usually last us like we originally set this out it was going to be like an hour, but we usually talk for like an hour and 45. So we usually have 4 news stories that we think are worthwhile talking about. If it's a slow news day, we'll throw in like 6 or 7, but with something as big as this, it's definitely going to take up a big chunk of time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's jump straight into it then. Not beating around the bush, which is what she said. There we go, on screen. Written by Andy Robinson for VGC. Epic shows Unreal Engine 5 running on PS5. The real-time demo offers a glimpse at next-generation engine features, release set for 2021. I don't know if anyone saw this last night. There was clips being posted left, right, and centre. It actually took me a little bit of digging because we were live with Masters of the League as this came out. All I could see was the clip. It's about a minute long, probably not even that, of the character that you can see at the top of the screen there, just kind of jumping through the desert towards a portal. And then that was kind of it. I had to go digging to find this full video, which is about 10 minutes long. If you have time today, if you've only seen the clip of like the end kind of hero shot, watch the full video because there's so much more in that full video. But anyway, let's jump into the article so you can see, so you can get an idea of what we're talking about, and then we can digest it together. So Epic Games has published a video of Unreal Engine 5 running on PlayStation 5. Lumen in the Land of Nanite is described as a real-time demo running live on PlayStation 5 and is both the first look at the next iteration of the popular game engine and the first indication of the graphical fidelity PS5 could be capable of. Epic said on Wednesday that one of its goals with Unreal Engine 5 was to achieve photorealism on par with movie CG and real life and put it within practical reach of development teams of all sizes through highly productive tools and content libraries. According to the Fortnite developer, the large and detailed scenes in the Lumen video are thanks to PlayStation 5's dramatic increase in storage bandwidth, which allowed its artists to use film quality objects of up to hundreds of millions even, of polygons. Unreal Engine 5 will also run on Xbox Series X, PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and current generation consoles. Wednesday's PS5 demo showcases 2 core technologies that will debut with the middleware: Nanite virtualized micro polygon geometry and Luminous dynamic global illumination ray tracing. Drake, good morning. Welcome to the stream and thank you for activating the raid. Very, very much appreciate it. Everyone dropping in from Drake's stream, good morning. Welcome in. We are talking about Unreal Engine 5.
Morning, guys.
Obviously, from UK time, the news on that dropped last night. I don't know if that is that earlier today for you. I don't know what time zone you guys are like to us, but yeah. So we're just jumping through that. But good morning, trickle in, welcome in. So Wednesday's PS5 demo showcases 2 core technologies that will debut with the middleware: Nanite virtualized micro polygon geometry, not a mouthful at all, and Luminous dynamic global illumination ray tracing. According to Epic, Nanite allows artists to import film quality source art comprising hundreds of millions or billions of polygons directly into Unreal Engine. The technology will then stream and scale the assets in real time, significantly reducing time spent adjusting them for game performance and with no loss in quality. There we go. We're almost at the end of the article, so just give us 1 second. Mike, thank you very much for the host as well, dude. Much appreciated. Luminis is Epic's dynamic global illumination solution that immediately reacts to scene and light changes. Artists and designers can create more dynamic scenes using Lumen, according to Epic, changing the sun angle for the time of day, turning on a flashlight, or blowing a hole in the ceiling, and indirect lighting will adapt accordingly. The demo also showcases existing engine systems such as chaos physics and destruction, Niagara VFX, convolution, reverb, and ambisonics rendering. Unreal Engine 5 will be available in preview in early 2021, with a full release planned to follow in late 2021. Unreal Engine 4.25 already supports next-generation console platforms from Sony and Microsoft, and Epic said it's designing for forward compatibility so developers can get started with next-gen development now in Unreal Engine 4 and move their projects to Unreal Engine 5 when ready. Epic plans to release Fortnite, built with UE4, on next-gen consoles at launch and migrate to the game in UE5 in mid-2021. In further Unreal Engine news, Epic confirmed on Wednesday that it will waive royalties on the first $1 million of in-game revenues developers make starting today. It also announced its intention to open up its online services to all developers for free via multi-platform SDK. This includes Fortnite services such as friends, matchmaking, lobbies, achievements, leaderboards, and accounts. That bit in itself, I mean, we're not going to talk about that bit yet. We'll jump on it later on, but that bit in itself is huge. Sony said on Wednesday that the PS5 remains on track to launch during the holiday 2020 season. We covered that yesterday in yesterday's edition of the Scoop. Feel free to check it out. And that it's too early to judge its PS5 marketing campaign following criticism it's lagging behind Microsoft's Series X product reveals. It's 8 hours behind GMT. Okay, so it came out, I think it was yesterday evening, so probably, so was it lunchtime for you guys then, I'm assuming? I don't know. I don't know. Try to figure things out. Quick maths. So yes, for those of you that missed it, Unreal Engine 5 was launched, was shown, should I say, demoed last night using, actually, I'll hit play on the trailer while we're on screen, so you can see some of the things. I'll keep it muted though. Actually, this is VGC's covering of it. Oh no, it's not even the never mind. I won't hit play on it. It's not. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Get past the interview a bit at the beginning. The voices to camera, and there we go. We'll leave that playing. But yeah, this is really, really good. It essentially focuses on two things. Where was the name of the demo? Lumen in the Land of Nanite. Is the name of it, and the reason that is Lumen is the new lighting technology, and Nanite is that granular. This is the bit that I was trying to talk to Bibi about before the stream. What was the word that I used? So Lumen controls the light, and Nanite is basically that what you're looking at. The ground, the flooring, the texturing, full 3D rendering of the surfaces, bits of rock, bits of dust. It doesn't have to be rock and dust. It could be trees, it could be grass, it could be whatever. But Nanite basically generates and renders that millions and millions of particles, polygons, triangles, whatever words you want to use to describe it. Without any sort of buffering, without any sort of lag. This image that's kind of shown on screen now, they're talking about it looks like it's just basically noise in the picture, but each speck on that picture there, all those grains are individual things that are rendered, so it all looks class. And that's moving around, you could be looking at like one of those Google Earth images kind of thing as you're flying around, and that could be real. That's how realistic it looks. And then obviously,
what game is this, by the way?
This is just a demo. So the demo is called Lumen in the Land of Nanite. So there's no backstory to it. They just kind of throw you in, and it looks like the way that the character progresses through. It looks like something you might even see from a Naughty Dog or something like that. The way that the character interacts with the environments and the way that things move and so on. It could be a Naughty Dog game, but it's essentially just built for purpose to be entirely a tech demo.
That makes sense as to why I'm watching a drone fly in and out, and then them moving the lights on and off. So it looks like I'm watching something that's being developed like on the fly, and they're moving the light and stuff like that. That makes sense. I thought it was like a demo of a game, and they've just managed to break it down for everything. But this looks insane. It looks like a Tomb Raider game.
Or
a Tomb Raider Uncharted game.
Yeah, exactly. Although I did see someone comment about this bit that's on screen at the moment where she's squashing through a gap in the rocks, and it's like, it's 2020! We're moving on to the PS5, we've got Unreal Engine 5, and you still have to squash through gaps in rock faces.
Yeah, this looks incredible. I mean, I only seen a few bits that was floating around Twitter yesterday. Like Graham said, we were streaming most of last night, so I didn't get to see any of the big announcement stuff. But watching this now for the first time in full, this is amazing. This looks incredible. This is. I didn't want to buy a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox Series One X. Because I don't have a 4K TV. Like, it'd be pointless for me. Fair enough, I might get a slight upgrade, but not having a 4K TV would hinder me buying a console of that caliber. But seeing this is the thing that's going to make me want to buy a 4K TV, because when I play these new systems, I want this experience that I'm looking at a 1080p monitor. I can only imagine if, like, I seen yesterday, he's literally pulled the trigger on a new TV because he's probably watched this and thought, fuck that, I want some of this action as soon as possible. Like, I'm not waiting. So I think that's going to be the shout for me. I'm going to get a 4K TV. I mean, I'm moving house soon as well, so that's obviously a big excuse for me to buy a new TV as well.
You're moving into a house. The last thing you want to do is take an old TV into it and then put a new one into it as well. You might as well just start off as you mean to go on.
Exactly. So I mean, this is. If anybody's in two minds about having a system seller, this trailer has to change your mind. Like, even someone like my granddad, for instance, he has always been a big tech buff. He still plays his Xbox now, and fair enough, it's still a 360. But he'll go back and play all the games that he's used to play on it still. But he's recently just bought a new TV, and my nan cannot tell the difference between what the picture quality was like on the old one to the new one. But my granddad is like all bells, all whistles. He's absolutely loving his new TV. It's night and day for him, but it's not to me nan. But some people won't be able to make out the picture quality until you show them side by side. Like, you know, when you go into Costco and they've got the TVs and they have like 1080 and then 4K, it's on one TV, but they'll split it out and you can tell the difference between them. Yeah. I think that's what people need sometimes, just to be able to check it out. But obviously we look at games all the time, so this is amazing to look at because we know the difference between what we've got now and what is coming with this game.
The bits, like the bit that just happened then, so there was the bit we talked about light breaking through in the roof. There was a bit there where the rocks just kind of fell down. The whole lighting in the room changed instantly, and that's kind of where this brings it in. Then there's no sort of like, even games that I love that are amazing, like Uncharted and so on, there's certain areas where if you're rotating your camera around, if you look at the light, everything becomes bright. If you look at the shadows, everything goes dark, kind of thing. And rotating on the same spot makes the whole lighting in the room change depending on the angle that you're looking at it. And this, obviously, the whole thing changes completely based on where the lighting is, not where you are. Which is, I mean, huge. I mean, the thing for me, though, is when I was watching this, I mean, I was only watching this on a smartphone in bed, basically. We got off stream last night, watched some TV and so on, chilled out, got in bed, and then that's when I had the time to start digesting what had been happening. So I watched it on an iPhone screen, and even at that point in time, on a tiny little screen in a dark room, I was thinking, okay, this is now the start of the next generation for me. This is it. I mean, we've seen some games already, we've seen new IP, but nothing that's kind of pushed anything. And the key thing here is, I mean, obviously this has been shown on PS5 technology as well, so everyone's going, see, this is how you do a gameplay reveal. Go on PlayStation. And it's not even a game. This is a technology reveal from Epic. So it's a third. Yeah, exactly. It's not even first party. It's third party. This will run probably similar to this on an Xbox, on PC, and on PlayStation as well. So I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, okay, obviously it's been tied to PlayStation, but for me this is that first next gen moment where you're starting to see difference. And that bit there, the bit that you see here, there's a bit of context cut out. So the trailer, I'm going to pause it here for just a second. There's a bit of context cut out. So you might have seen Jeff Keighley in particular tweeted this tweet and it went everywhere. This video bit went everywhere, but it missed out the context. The whole bit that you've just seen is essentially saying how the engine, I mean, it looks fantastic, but it's talking about how the engine benefits developers. The fact that all of that texture rendering, so as you can see here, this bit is just said, it doesn't have to be just inside a cave, it can be as far as the eye can see. So essentially, all of the landscape out to the horizon has been rendered, and that's all just been done on the fly by the engine. And all of the lighting and stuff internally by the engine. It now goes into a big action scene where you're seeing different textures changing because the rocks falling, everything's moving at super speed, and obviously different lights. You've got the sun going behind columns and pillars and so on, all being rendered on the fly by the engine. Which the significance of that is this is something that can be done maxed out on PS5, Xbox, PC when we get to it, but this isn't something that developers need to spend 100,000 years developing. The software, the engine will take care of a lot of that for them. They're talking about how you can import your own data, your own pixels, your own shapes and stuff, and the engine will just work with it, which is huge because that basically means that video games take so long to make at that quality. Unreal Engine 5 will help developers speed up to get to that sort of point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like what Gatekeeper, what Craig's just said then. I mean, if anybody's coming into the new generation thinking that they're going to see this day one, I mean, you've never clearly played any of the other generations because it takes so long for people to get familiar with how to use the new engines. Fair enough, and this one they're saying that you can just drop. You can go from 4 to 5, and you'll get a resolution boost or a detail boost or textures boost or things like that. But to actually get used to using the engine, you don't see top quality, beautiful, amazing games and using the full benefits of a new engine until pretty much close towards the end of a lifespan of a system. Like they're saying you're not going to see the benefits of this until later on next year in 2021. I don't think you're going to see amazing, like photorealistic, top tier games until maybe 2 or 3 years into the system life, until these developers have got used to using massive parts of the new system. So what Enix is saying, yeah, fair enough. I think he's still seething at the fact that this the conference that got shown with Xbox, where they're saying we're showing gameplay stuff. Really looking back at it, we didn't see that much of it, but PlayStation, without saying anything, this has just dropped on us. It's been run on PlayStation 5. Is right. They maybe not be using ray tracing, AI gameplay. See how they.
No, I think he's not saying. He's saying they are, aren't they? Because Gatekeeper TV, morning Craig, says the engine isn't out until 2021. So does that mean a good chunk of the early next gen games will be using Unreal Engine 4, which is what Jordan was saying. But this demo is only showing the new stuff. So. Actually, yeah, no, it does. Yeah, you're right. I missed the no bit there. So only showing the new no ray tracing AI gameplay.
Yeah.
So just, but that's the thing, though. I mean, that's a good thing. This doesn't even factor in ray tracing. That is on the fly light generation developed by an engine that everyone can utilize. And I almost said for free just because I was on one of those sales pitches. The reason I kind of went for free then, you can have it for free, is because I fully bit into Unreal Engines, not Unreal Engines, but Epic's sales pitch, and it wasn't even kind of salesy yesterday. So I'll jump down. So there's a bit that I pointed out. It says it. In further Unreal Engine news, Epic confirmed on Wednesday that it will waive royalties on the first $1 million of in-game revenue developers make starting today. That is basically, it was something along the lines of, I can't remember the figures, but it was like Epic, to use the Unreal Engine, they gave it you for free, effectively, and then they take a share of your profits. After the first, I don't know if it was first 50 grand or something, $500,000, whatever it was, and they took like 3% or something. But now they basically let you earn $1 million, and after that point, they'll start to take a cut of say 5% or something. So they take a bigger percentage, but only after you've earned a larger chunk of money, which is good, because if you're an indie developer, if you're making $1 million, you're like, okay, if I can give you 5% to make $1 million, yes, please. And if you can develop faster, better quality, more graphically intense games much quicker with a lesser need for external sources and development teams, so cutting your costs by using the likes of Nanite, by using the likes of Lumen and so on in these, it's huge. And it then goes on to say they're opening their Fortnite services as well, which I read that yesterday and I'm not asked about Fortnite, but then when I'm reading into it, things like the technology in Fortnite that allows you to create friends lists, that allows you to do matchmaking, that allows you to have lobbies and achievements, leaderboards and accounts and stuff. Basically what they're doing is giving you their toolkit that allows them to create cross-party, cross-platform games, and then giving you a shitload of technology. I mean, I know obviously it's a business plan. Epic aren't doing it just for free out of the good of their heart. They want to make money out of it as well. But basically what they're saying there is we want to make money on successful games. Here's the tools to success. Go fill your boots, which is huge for me as well.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, as I mentioned before, we're not going to see the full capabilities of these systems for a while. So what they're showing us now is absolutely amazing, but it's made for purpose, and it's made for purpose to run, showing gameplay that has been made from the ground up to show you what the engine looks like from a third party. Now, so many other companies are going to be using this engine going forward. So showing people what they potentially have to use at their disposal. For me, this trailer isn't just for us to look and go, oh my God, that looks amazing. This trailer is a sales pitch to show you what you can use if you have the good developer skills to be able to create games like this. So the fact that they're waiving £1 million from the first games that they use using this engine is fantastic. It gives people the opportunity to be able to, make a little bit of money. If you are making £1 million from using this engine, then you're clearly doing quite well. It isn't just going to be one of these game jolt games that people are making from their own bedroom. Not to say that that's a bad thing, because a lot of indie games that have been made from the bedroom have gone on to do unreal things, no pun intended.
Hey.
But it just gives the idea that this is what you have available to you. Go and use it.
I mean, it is huge, and as Drake says, also once again, thanks again for the raid, Drake, much appreciated. I like the fact that you dropped the raid because we get to listen to the Ice Cream Van music as well. So yeah, thank you very much. While those graphics are sexy, just picture this in a VR system. I mean, imagine. It's pretty much real worldish.
We haven't got VR in 4K yet, have we?
I don't think so.
Because the PlayStation 1 for me, as good as it is, it's still a little bit blurry. Now I haven't used like the Valve Index and stuff like that, the ones that cost like £1,000, but I don't know whether or not it's I'm partially blind in one eye as it is. I've only got one proper good eye, so it just seems a little bit blurry to me every time I get in a headset, like a VR headset, including the Valve, the HTC Vive that we played with at Beat Saber at Arcade Club. That's the word. That's the place I'm looking for.
Was that a Vive? I thought that was Oculus.
Sure it was.
I thought that was Oculus.
It could have been a Rift. Yeah, you're right. It could have been a Rift. I'm not too sure, but everyone that I've used so far, out of the 3 that I've used, it doesn't feel like I'm seeing something.
I just wanna feel real VR.
I don't know the word for it. So the high resolutions that I'm looking at on my PlayStation, that I don't think you can capture that in VR in the headset yet. It doesn't feel graphically new. It feels like I'm looking at a PS3 and a Xbox 360 game. It doesn't feel like I'm looking at a 4K game when I'm wearing VR.
I think a lot of that is down to maybe I mean ray tracing may potentially help with that. I think a lot of that is down to, obviously it's rendering a 3D shape in 3 dimensions is harder than rendering a 3D shape in a 2-dimension screen that you're essentially walking up to. I mean, obviously in a video game you're rotating it around, but having that in a way that stands out and pops out fully lit, fully rendered is quite difficult. It takes quite a lot of resources, and few video games in the VR sphere have had the budget to do that. Maybe I've not looked at Half-Life Alyx too much because I didn't want spoilers just in case I play it, but maybe Alyx might have some of that sort of stuff, but most games don't have that level of fidelity in the graphics anyway. A lot of them do look like PS3-ish sort of games that are VR'd out. However, if technology like Nanite and Lumen do come along and make it possible for a VR developer to create this set and just go, okay, boom, I'm just chucking some code that's got like a shitloads of data on surfaces, render me rock faces and stuff, boom, bow, there we go. If it could do that, then maybe we could start to see that sort of stuff coming. Jump back through the chat. The Unreal Engine has been used in VFX with LED screens instead of green screen. It looks so good. Watch the first 10 seconds ish. Okay, this is an Unreal Engine video from Fatma Dave in the chat. So this background that we're looking at here is an LED screen. not a green screen. Is that what we're saying? Never. No way that's LED. What? That looks real. That does look real. I mean, I can see it there.
Oh my shit.
That is class.
Right, okay, so obviously this is not just going to change the gaming world, it's going to change how we digest all forms of media, whether it be TV or film. That looks insane.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does look pretty tasty. Asim says the engine's fully out in 2021 for all, but Epic for devs who want to take advantage of the stuff. For all but Epic. For devs who want to take advantage of the demo, they'll work with them and give access to them. Was a similar situation with Uncharted 4, Unreal Engine 4. Yeah, I think there was comments going around saying the similar sort of thing yesterday in terms of it will be fully out, but yeah, they will give early access to developers that want to work with it, and those that want to keep using the situations that they've got. Obviously, a lot of games are in progress using Unreal 4. Then yeah, they've made it future compatible as well, so you can just port your stuff over. And then if you want to add an Unreal Engine 5 patch, boop, job's good. It won't all be there day one like this, only some Unreal Engine 5 features, but it'll come in a year or so. And I'm saying in general, people need to remember this engine is for every platform, including iOS and Android, but good marketing move for Sony, as outlets already saying. Amazing first next-gen footage from PS5, so the narrative they got there, which is what I said when Microsoft failed with that show. All it takes is Sony to show something running on PS5 first. A good example is the UE4 engine demo. Nothing looks as good as that from this gen. I'm confused. Let's see what Asim's link. Okay, we'll jump forward that. Let's pick apart John's comments first then. People need to remember this is an engine for every platform, including iOS and Android. That doesn't mean that it's not good. I don't get what you mean. What do you mean? I mean, we opened saying that as well. We opened saying that this is next gen software. This isn't first party software. This is Unreal Engine software. We said that this will be available on PC at this quality. This will be available on PlayStation, Xbox and PC, although there was a little bit afterwards where the Unreal devs were talking to, I think it was in the Jeff Keighley podcast bit afterwards, and some of the Unreal devs were saying the quality of the SSD. A lot of people, and I'm seeing a lot of Xbox fanboys actually saying, yeah, but Sony's got a good SSD, so what? But the actual Unreal devs were saying Sony's SSD setup is far superior than anything that you can get in PCs right now. Obviously, that will change because PCs move faster, develop faster. So, I mean, that's something not to take lightly. But yeah, this is third-party software. This isn't first-party. This isn't just exclusive to PlayStation. That kind of comes with the fact that it's Unreal Engine on PS5, not just PS5. But yeah, the good marketing moves. It's so they got the narrative there. I mean, the key thing is PlayStation didn't do this. Unreal did this. PlayStation allowed them to do it on their SDK and then let them put it out. So this is a good move for PlayStation, but it's not a PlayStation move. This is an Unreal move. And yes, it shows next-gen gameplay on the PS5. That's the fanboy conversation in there. People going, yeah, all right then. Well, do you know what? Xbox promised a conference and we got gameplay. PlayStation haven't even done anything and we've got gameplay on the PS5. And that was mis-messaging from Xbox. It's not that these have done bad or PlayStation have nailed anything. It's that Xbox didn't take the opportunity to nail something down. That's where the narrative comes from. PlayStation weren't even involved in this conversation as such, not directly.
No, well, you don't know the extent of what Epic have gone to be able to show this on the PS5. It could have been an open offer to say, do you want us to show this on your console, Xbox? Do you want us to show it on PC? Do you want us to show it on PS5? We don't know the talks that went behind it. Just so happens that PlayStation haven't even shown what their console looks like yet, and Epic have. I don't know why. I don't know how, but they're shown to use it on their console. I don't know. This is just the first time that we've seen something on the PlayStation. Again, we've never even seen the console, and we still managed to see gameplay from it. So we'll see. We've still got a long way to go in before both of these consoles are released. So yeah, just what it is.
Jumping back to the comment of the Action 1000, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Jordan's comment of the UE4 engine hasn't been surpassed. This doesn't look as good as that demo. Do you mean something specific? Because I mean, this Unreal 4 Elemental demo for PlayStation 4. It looks good, but this looks like an early PS4 game. That doesn't look anywhere near as good as that we've just seen. Look at the texturing of the ground or anything. Although I will scroll down because chat has probably moved on quite a bit since, so there could be conversations back and forwards that I'm missing. The UE4 demo has been more than surpassed, says Asim. Yeah, I agree with that. From looking at this 40 seconds, this doesn't look anywhere near as good. You can see blocks just appearing in the air kind of thing. It's not surfaces crumbling. There's not as many... Yeah, anyway, you get that. Not in all aspects. In all, games like Gears 5, God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, just to name a few. Performance with the VR, it's got to create 2 instances. The games do run at high frames per second. David says the LEDs are saying yes, they're all tracked real time. That did look class though, to be fair. I mean, people keep saying it's exclusive to Sony, etc. Nobody's saying it's exclusive to Sony. If you're seeing people saying it's exclusive to Sony, then you're looking for people saying that, because everything I'm seeing that matters. If you're just talking about randoms on Twitter, then yeah, people will be saying it's exclusive to Sony, but nobody's saying it's exclusive. The press release that we've just read out said it's coming to everything you've just said: PS4. PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, iOS, Android, and the old devices. Nobody's saying that. Only people that are saying that are people that you don't need to listen to. Trying to play 2K20 but don't even know what's going on. What, in NBA? Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's if you don't know what Unreal Engine is and how it's been spread around the gaming industry and what is in so many games, then it's just taking sides at that point. I think it's just trolls taking one side just to be able to have a go at the other. That is fanboyism, because this is going to be available for everything. There's video games on your mobile that use Unreal Engine. Do you know what I mean? So it's an engine. It's not a console. That's the only way that I can describe it. The engine is used to create the games, not the console. So, like, if people are saying this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, just the engine being used on PlayStation 5, then yeah, I wouldn't even boil my piss over that.
Yeah, I mean, there is the simple fact that it has been shown on the PS5. And yes, that's when you can start to boil down and make assumptions and guesses. Why is it on the PS5? They say they've been working with the PS5 architecture teams. It wasn't in this article, it was in maybe an article I read on The Verge last night. And they said they've been working with the PS5's technology teams, and the bit about the SSD being far more advanced than anything you'd get in a PC for the foreseeable. So that's when you can start to go, okay, are they working with PS5 because their technology is better for them? Or is it just a purely marketing thing? Have they got a good relationship there and they realise that PlayStation is has the bigger install base right now, so they're hoping to work with that? I mean, you don't know. You have to guess. Fanboys will naturally go, it's the better system, so that's why they're working with us. Fanboys will also go, oh well, it's exclusive to it. Just ignore the fanboys. Make logical conclusions. That's the key thing we've got to do. Check Twitter, by the way. I sent you an article which was announced.
Yeah. I've just read the article that Jordan sent over to me. It's nothing to do with this story. It's to do with the Darwin project. So yeah, we'll probably save that one for tomorrow.
Yeah. Digital Foundry, the tech analysis experts, says Graham with words, did a super video yesterday, just like Unreal Engine 4 demo to now. They're confident that this UE5 demo will be surpassed too. Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, that's the key thing as well. That's something to factor in. I mean, I see what Jordan... I assume what Jordan was saying, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, was that the tech demo is ideal circumstances. That is someone that's created a character, someone that's created an environment, someone that's giving you stuff that looks fundamentally astounding, but they don't have to worry about how you get there, how they get there afterwards, what leads on. It's playing in game, but it's built for purpose. It's like let's say everyone knows it when they were in school. And this is a UK thing, so if you're not from the UK, bear with. When you're in school, you get school inspections from Ofsted, and you know when Ofsted is coming. School get told Ofsted is coming, and all of a sudden you go from being lazy layabout oaths, chewing and eating and playing with your phones or whatever in class, until when there's some random person sat at the back of the classroom, you and your teacher are all kind of in it together to be like, yes, we're all well-behaved students. Excuse me, sir, please may I have a pencil and a ruler? It's like, mate, Graham, this is PE. Oh, fuck, sir, please may I have a football then? But what I'm saying is, you show your best stuff. If you have a food guy coming into your restaurant, you give him the best food. You make sure everything's cooked to perfection. You go that extra mile. So yeah, you can get that with a demo. But yeah, that Unreal Engine 4 demo absolutely was surpassed. And then the thing to mention is what Bibby said. Maybe towards the end of the gen, if not at least 3 years into the generation, it takes time for developers to fully get under the skin of an engine. But by the time it always happens, it will be surpassed. That demo, as Asim says there, just like the Unreal Engine 4 demo to now, they're confident this Unreal Engine 5 demo will be surpassed too. You won't see anything quite that good straight off the bat. You might see some stuff that looks really, really good. I mean, possibly you might even, with the inclusion of ray tracing and things like that, you might see something surpass it a bit sooner. And PlayStation... Mark Cherney even said that they were trying to make it so that this generation, they could lesser that learning gap. They didn't want it to be months and months of learning. They wanted developers to have, within a few weeks, be fully aware of how to get the most out of this engine. So that, plus the new technologies and so on. And yeah, we could see the UE5 demo past. I mean, I would have said 3 years, but maybe sooner. Maybe sooner. We never know. We never know. Slack, get away. I did snooze you, but clearly not for long enough. Get out of here. Pause notifications. Yeah. Exciting time, genuinely. No, I agree. This is the first time. I mean, and it's a nothing. I'm not looking at Bright Memory Infinite or the Ascent, or whatever the hell the other games were called. I've completely gone. Yeah, so I'm not looking at those. Those names that are tangible, that I will be able to get my hands on, that I will be able to play, that do have a title. This is Nanite in the land of Lumen, or Lumen in the land of Nanite, whichever way it was. Which is basically light in the land of texture, or texture in the land of light. That's basically what they're saying. It's a nothing. It's nothing there. But it excited me because we can see what is coming. How, like, even compare the UE4 engine to the UE5 engine. Those two trailers there that we showed, you can see, pun intended, light years of difference.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned before that looking at these type of trailers will sell systems, regardless of what system it is, or if you want to play it on your PC with the top graphics or whatever. Fair enough, there is going to be games that are going to be on mobile. They're not going to look anywhere as good as this on a mobile. I'm sorry, your mobile just doesn't have the processor speed that a console or your PC will have. It won't have the output power. It won't have the graphics card. It's just the way it is. They will look good, but they won't look anywhere close to this. So having the top tier graphics that you're going to see in this, it will sell. For me, as well as I just said before, that I will be obviously getting a new TV and the new console when it comes out. For me, if it looks amazing, that's great. But it's all going down to the gameplay for me. If the gameplay is good, then I'll end up getting it. And that's the thing for me that I want companies to, get a hold of. I want their games to be good. I want the controls to be tight. Fair enough, if they look good, that's another bonus as well. But it all comes down to gameplay for me. It could have all the bells and whistles of ray tracing, fucking SSDs out its ass, and graphic cards off its tits. I don't care about any of that stuff. As long as the gameplay is good, that's how I play my games. If the controls are tight, it has a good storyline. That's what I want from my games. So yeah, bells and whistles are nice, but controls and everything. If you're arguing about graphics and process speed and stuff like that, that's on you. That's your argument to have, but you won't win it with me because I don't care. I just don't care. You can throw gigawatts and teraflops and whatever else it could be at me. It'll fall on deaf ears. I can't be asked arguing about that stuff because it doesn't interest me in the slightest. It's nice to have, but if your game's good and the controls are tight, that's where my gaming necessity comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having graphics and stuff like that is important, but it should be in what I'm assuming agreed opinion secondary. You play the game first, and then so give what is the best experience. Nice. Okay, I'll take that, and then how do I make it look and play better? That's it. It's okay. I'll take the best experience and improve on it. So I want the best games in good graphics. That's the order. Not I want good graphics first, and then I'll take games afterwards. Okay, you've only got Pac-Man, but it's in 8K. Okay, well, at least I've got 8K. Yeah, nobody does that.
I can still go up, down, left, and right. I can't go any other way, and it's all still pixely mess and whatever else. But essentially, it all comes down to I can't be arsed arguing about graphics. Like this, like one of my best mates, Mike, he will play games that look good. He will not go back and play anything else. You're the same, Graham. You obviously have the nostalgia feel in your head of games that you were like. Everybody loved the Getaway. Everybody loved the Getaway. It was one of the most iconic games on the PlayStation 2. Go back and play it now. It will ruin your fucking life. I am not joking. It's not held up well at all, but you all remember it as being a good game. So I can still go back and play WWE Here Comes the Plane and it still be an absolute masterpiece. Fair enough, the graphics haven't aged well, but the gameplay still holds up and I'll play it. I play PES 2 more than I play PES 2020 because the game holds up. Again, the graphics aren't the best, but there's animations in that game that you can't find in PES 2020 now, but the gameplay is tight, it holds up. It's just one of them things. If the gameplay is good, it will hold up in years to come, I imagine.
As Dominic Diamond said on an episode of Games Master, if it's good, it will give me wood. That's Bib. It's Bib's spirit animal.
Yeah.
No,
that's it.
I agree with that. Let's jump back through the comments then. When you add AI, gameplay mechanics, other graphical bells and whistles, it can dip heavily. I don't actually think ray tracing will be huge. It's like I said with DLSS 2.0. That demo was using DLSS 2.0. Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. You get moves and you get counter moves. Saying ray tracing will be good or bad is not the point. It's about it's clearly big. It's clearly huge. You wouldn't have a whole range of RTX graphics cards and Nvidia's whole RTX Home campaign if it wasn't a big step. But it doesn't mean that it just has to be ray tracing. Ray tracing is an idea. An idea then spawns counter ideas. Oh, we can do that in something different. Ray tracing isn't an exclusive. That's kind of what we're putting on because we, not we, as in us, we generally watching this are a more educated audience in terms of the finer details of the nerdiness of consoles. We're mega geeks is basically what I'm saying. Whereas most of the people on the high street won't really know. If you start talking about DLSS 2. But ray tracing sounds like words. I can get on board with that. So that's kind of where that's coming from. It's a nice moniker. But don't get hung up on the ray tracing element. Just get hung up on the improved lighting, improved immersion. That's what it all is. Throw it all together. It doesn't necessarily mean when you add in other elements it'll crumble. Epic made it without needed or wanted to do that, just like they did with the UE4 demo, no other elements, and now it's surpassed. But that engine was also using cinema-grade assets. Some devs came out saying mostly that they will never do that due to time constraints, but yeah, it will be exciting to see where things go. Just because devs aren't going to use it doesn't mean it's not a huge thing. I mean, some devs will use it. Some devs never went to the scale of God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn. And on the Xbox, a lot of devs will have never have gone to the lengths that the Halo teams have gone to and things like that. Just because not all devs can get there doesn't mean it's not amazing. So yeah, all dependent on developers. Some UE4 games are shockingly bad without much in them. And look at Gears 5, highly optimized with the dev that knows how to use Unreal. Will come to optimization as well. I mean, look at that, Gears 5, a game that was highly optimized for UE4. Not all devs will have the teams and the availability that the Gears teams will have had as either. So it's kind of counteracting the own point. Just because not all devs can use cinema grade stuff doesn't necessarily mean it. They've said within there that they can help developers throw out much more terrain, much more detailed texturing at different levels. They didn't say it has to be cinema grade. You can do it at lower levels and they will help take care of a lot of that work. And if developers then aren't having to put as much time into that, then even lower ended developers that don't have the budgets for cinema grade assets, they will still be able to spend a lot more time doing other things, or maybe put more time into that if engines are getting to the point where they're taking a lot of that work away from them as well. Of course, quality devs will make quality games, always. Good shout. To be fair, I wasn't bothered about graphics that much. Then trying 4K on Xbox and PC, I just became a graphics snob. So just the clarity I love. I don't know, it's weird. I never used to be that bothered playing CS:GO on 25 FPS on a 5900 FX. You lost me with the last bit, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on board for 4K, but that's the cinema side of me, the film side of me, rather than the video game side of me. I would like my video games to be 4K, 120 FPS maybe, but I I'll sacrifice that for a game that plays better. And yeah, I think I've kind of always been that. We always would want something to be amazing. You want that moment when you've just done, it could be a quick time button bashing sequence, or you've just kicked a boss's ass using a long, lengthy battle, and then the game just kind of stops, and you get that sort of like, ha, 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 like scene where you're looking up and you're seeing the sun, or two suns if you're on a Destiny or something like that, and you've got mountains and seas and trees, and you want to see that in its biggest graphical fidelity. But the key thing is, that's a nice bit to have after the button bashing, high impact Hollywood button bashing sequence or the boss battle. Those bits are nice to have, but they're not the core. The core is the bits that have come before it. So graphics and stuff is nice, but it's all the wraparound. Anyway, let's move forward. Not very far though. Still sticking pretty close to this story. Part 2, or news article 1.5, is Fortnite will be a PS5 and Xbox Series X launch game. Plus, Epic are to migrate Battle Royale game to Unreal Engine 5 in mid-2021. Told you we weren't going far.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's the same video. Epic will release Fortnite for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X at launch, it said. We all kind of expected that. Now it's confirmed. So the popular Battle Royale game will also be among the first titles released with Epic's new Unreal Engine 5 announced on Wednesday. Fortnite is currently built with UE4, but will be migrated to UE5 in mid-2021. Obviously, the game, the UE5 engine, obviously not being fully released until late 2021, but that's kind of what Ashley was talking about earlier. Obviously, Fortnite is made by Epic, which makes Unreal Engine 5, so it's kind of obvious that they're going to be using it first, but other developers will be able to get used to it a little bit before then. Not many will be releasing mid-2021, but there you go. Epic also announced its intention to share Fortnite's online suite with all developers via multi-platform SDK. This includes services such as friends, matchmaking, lobbies, achievements, leaderboards, and accounts, which we've already covered over. So there you go. Just to confirm, Fortnite has been confirmed as being a launch title on both platforms. I don't think anybody expected that not to be the case, because you can play Fortnite on your Samsung smart fridge or whatever now. So it absolutely has to be coming out the next year. Already had friends moving to PlayStation after the showcase of that demo, so it did its job, possibly for Sony. It must have been signed off by Sony at some point. Also just noticed Idris Elba is my manager? Idris Elba is your manager? Give a bit more context on that. You can't just stop there. Wonder how Fortnite will look in UE5. Might be the first. Oh, in NBA. Okay. Wonder how Fortnite will look in UE5. Might be the first big game to showcase the UE5 stuff. I think it'll look okay, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's the game that will show off UE5 because of the art style. I mean, it'll probably look better and crisper, and you'll have that rendering distance and stuff anyway, but it doesn't necessarily need that much. And I think that's the beauty of Fortnite. It's good enough. That's it. It's good enough.
You can play it on everything, can't you? Like you said, you can probably play it on your fridge, like you probably can with Skyrim nowadays. It's just one of them games that the art style doesn't give you. I mean, it could either go completely switch it up and use the art style that we've just seen in that Lumens trailer. That'd be something, wouldn't it? But the likelihood is they're never going to be able to do that. They are just going to carry on with this art style. But like I said, the draw distance, the textures are going to look a bit more colourful. Like the ice in the background on this picture that they've used at the top, if there was to remaster that using the U5 engine, I imagine the ice in the background would glow a little bit more. You'd see the snow would be ice white, the trees would be a little bit greener. Just small little cosmetic changes like that. I can't imagine it using the engine to its absolute fullest just because of the art style. They're not looking for realistic looking characters. So yeah, this is something that we discussed the other day, didn't we? Because it said that Call of Duty 5, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, what's the battle royale called? Warzone will be moving over to the new consoles. Will we see any other battle royales that are live service games make the move over to the new consoles too, using different engines? And it looks like this is taking the plunges along with that.
The interesting thing is that Fortnite's, I mean, it depends on who you are. For me, Fortnite's biggest competitor is PUBG, obviously, but that uses the same engine. Arguably, Epic's engine, Epic owning Fortnite, will be more of a benefit to its competitor than to itself. PUBG using that rendering distance. I mean, anyone that's played PUBG knows it could do with some help with rendering and so on at times. So those lighting and so Lumen and Nanite and everything that comes with that in UE5 would benefit. I mean, it will benefit Fortnite, but it will benefit worlds that have a much more denser, wider color palette, that have much more complex structures in it than Fortnite does. Fortnite will obviously will move forward with the times, and you will no doubt see better graphical fidelity, but you'll still keep, they're not going to move away from that style that's made it what it is.
Agreed.
Anyway, let's move forward then. Just confirming UE5 is coming, and we've seen a platform. Seen a demo, a gameplay demo on the PS5, and we've confirmed that Fortnite will be coming to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X consoles. Anyway, let's have a look at our next bit of news today. And unsurprisingly, written by Bijan Stephen for The Verge, the lockdown live streaming numbers are out, and they are huge. Every platform grew, but nice for us to know as Twitch partners, Twitch is still the biggest. I mean, nobody expected any different. I mean, the Mix may get Shroud, they may get Ninja, but nobody expected any different. Really? Did you? If you did, God. Anyway, we finally have numbers to back up the wild view counts we've seen in live streaming since the COVID-19 pandemic began and the lockdown started, and they are huge. According to Stream Elements and Arsenal.gg, the live streaming sector grew a full 45% between March and April year over year. The industry is up by 99%, which is truly impressive. Those gains are directly attributable to the novel coronavirus. I've been writing for a while in these virtual pages about how the ongoing lockdowns have been a boon to live streaming platforms. If you're inside, you're probably online. And now that many of the experience that we used to enjoy in person have moved to live streaming, i.e. Zoom lectures, Twitch concerts, and fully virtual book launches, the platforms have lately become a culturally important space in the mainstream. It's meant that more people are watching live streamed programming than ever. Which we can absolutely vouch for because we got 3,600 people watching us last night. Just saying. While there were gains across the board, they weren't distributed evenly. Twitch, the biggest live streaming platform, saw the most growth in terms of sheer hours, with its hours watched jumping 50% between March and April and a full 101% year over year. It's now up to 1.645 billion hours watched per month. To focus on Twitch for a moment, the platform's biggest game in the period surveys was Valorant, which has anchored its release around Twitch streamers. The site's drops mechanic, wherein viewers had to watch streams to get better access to the game, drove a full 334 million hours watched on Twitch in April, which made it the biggest category by far on the platform. Next up was Just Chatting, with a very respectable 134 million hours. That's incredible. Valorant over double what Just Chatting had. Shows the power of Twitch drops with a very respectable 134 million hours watched in April, bigger than both League of Legends and Fortnite. So that's good news for Twitch because it's been trying to grow its non-gamer streams. Fortnite got some good news too. It's been growing month over month since January, which should maybe put an end to the idea that the game is on its deathbed. But the biggest growth came from the influx of musicians to Twitch. The music and performing arts category on Twitch saw its hours watched quadruple year over year because so many acts joined the site to mitigate the impact of lost touring revenue to the pandemic. GG to Twitch, look at that. The other big winner was Facebook Gaming, which saw 72% growth between March and April and a massive 238% jump in growth over the last year. YouTube Gaming was up by 14% from March to April and up by 65% year over year, and Mixer grew by 15% over those same 2 months and 0.2% year over year. The industry's growth, absolutely, that's got to be a doc meme by the end of the day. It has to be. The industry's growth then mostly comes from Twitch and YouTube, which are still the two biggest players in the space. What remains to be seen, of course, is whether these numbers are resilient, whether people will go back to their old viewing habits when this is all over. That doesn't seem likely to be for a while, obviously, but more than anything, these numbers show just how big live streaming can be when the industry isn't competing with real life for your attention. We're at the beginning of a grand online experiment, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Online, I mean. Good article, that.
It is a very good article.
GG, Bijan Stephen. Very, very much appreciate that article.
See, I love stuff like that because the amount of time that they would have to go to research it, that for me is what journalism is about. It's about going out and finding stuff rather than making stuff up. Do you know what I mean? Is clearly like it. What was the website? Arsenal.gg. He's gone in. He's had a look at everything that's around him. Now, the only thing that stands out for me more than anything in this is the Valorant stuff. Would the numbers be as big as there was if the Valorant wasn't watch these people stream and get a key?
No, is the simple answer.
Yeah. That was my initial thought.
I added discussing now. There's a lot of large words in there, so I've just added Twitch is the bomb because
Barry, I cannot pronounce. Can you pronounce that? Bear. Hi,
ferocious,
Bear.
like ferocious,
Ferocious.
but ferocious,
Yeah,
but with a bear.
that could be a
Ferocious.
shout. Morning, Ferocious. But yeah, I think it's I've been some of these numbers, especially the Valorant ones, definitely make a massive difference to this because there was millions of people. There was like 600,000 people watching Summit stream it for the chance to get a key, and he wasn't the only big Twitch name to be able to stream this. On day one, throughout the 2 weeks that people was fighting for a code, including us. So yeah, it makes a massive difference when you've got stuff like that. I imagine the numbers still would have been big because it's something that I touched on a couple of weeks ago. That's a lot of celebrities have moved over to making Twitch channels and trying to stay relevant by using Instagram Live and just any kind of platform for them to be able to still stick their face out and for people to watch their favorite celebrity. It's one of these things at the moment where if you're not, well, I say at the moment, if you aren't in the public eye and your whole livelihood is from being in the public eye, then you are just going to fall by the wayside. And by the time that everything goes back to normal, shall we say, chances are you probably might not be as relevant anymore. So people who used to berate us, the nerds, for watching video streams by playing games to people and just building our own community away from the mainstream people, their favorite celebrities are now trying to do that themselves. And they're all, oh my God, look at TikToks, look at Instagram lives, I don't know, someone from Corey's doing a quiz. Let's do that kind of thing. So they're all in our world now. Do you know what I mean?
Someone from Corey actually done a quiz? Because if not, it's weird that your
I
mind
have
went
no
there.
idea. I was trying to think of like English things to do. Like soaps is like one of the big things for. I mean, this is such a sweeping generalization, but it usually is the female demographic that watch soaps. I don't know many blokes who watch soaps. I'm just going to say that I really don't. So it's again, this is a sweeping demographic, and I apologize for this if it does offend anyone, but it is a nerd thing to do, and it's nerd culture that do all this streaming stuff. And it's usually people who have been berated for so long by us being nerds and watching, playing video games for our communities and stuff like that. But now they're in our world, aren't they? They are.
It's all right, babe. Get it off your chest. Go on, have a go at him, babe. Go on, get him, babe.
It's like the third and fourth time that I've said this. It's weird that for so long we was called nerds and put by the wayside for streaming like we're doing now. We're talking about video games. We play video games to people, to 3,500 people, I might add, last night.
It was more than that, mate. Stop being modest. It was closer to 4. Look, it was fine. Close to 4.
But yeah, it's like Aston said, Sergio Aguero is a popular streamer these days, and he's a professional footballer. Do you know what I mean? He's now. Sorry, mate. Happy Aguero Day yesterday. Sorry about that.
I know, that's why I threw it out.
But it's just one of these things now because they're not able to do anything, and they want to still be able to. I don't know whether or not they didn't have time previously to get involved in video streaming or playing games to people or whatever it is. I don't know, but it's weird that people who I know wouldn't have been interested in watching live streams are now keen for sitting down to watch a live stream of whether it be their favorite celebrity at a quiz night or whatever it may be. I don't know whether or not it's down to boredom or what, but I imagine a lot of people's more mentalities will change now and say, actually, I'm going to go onto Twitch and see if my favorite streamer or celebrity personality or whatever is playing games or doing quiz or just sitting and talking to their fans. I imagine all of that is going to change or has started to change now over the last couple of months.
Yeah. I agree. It's interesting to see just how big a difference there has been between one platform and the other. So we had try jump out, pull the figures out, but they were spread out. So Twitch saw a 101% growth year on year. So it's over doubled year on year. So 101%. And obviously, the fact that Mixer came in and started pinching some of Twitch's biggest names like Doc and Shroud, and what was the I can't remember the other one that went. I mean, oh well, whatever. They've taken streamers. King Goliathan. Oh, that's not the one that came to mind. It was the woman.
Just going back to Craig's comment, he says, I genuinely think a lot of celebs will start using Twitch. You already have the likes of James Buckley and Limmy. Thing is, James Buckley and Limmy have been doing this for like 2 years before all of this. Like I've watched James Buckley since he started doing Completed It Mate on YouTube, and this was way back when I was watching a stream of his like 2-3 months ago, maybe even before all this pandemic started, saying that he genuinely just doesn't like acting. He'd just rather play video games and sit in his Twitch streams and speak to all of his fans and stuff like that. He fell into acting. It's not his first love. Playing video games is, and it wouldn't surprise me if he never went back into acting again. Obviously, he will, because that's where he makes all of his money. It's not that fucking stupid, but those guys have already made the jump years ago. It's for over the last 3 months, the people who've started to do Twitch streams. I'm not gonna berate them if they stop when all this goes back to normal again, because their lives will go on. They'll go back to doing their livelihood things, which may be acting, it may be directing, it may be touring with their bands. It's just one of them things. I don't know whether or not I don't think streaming is for everyone. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it is for everyone. You either love it or you hate it. But I do think we'll see a massive spike year on year. A decline next year when all of this is all over.
I think
when they come to do this again.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. I mean, I think the key thing next year when looking at the stats is to look at next year versus last year and kind of ignore this year, because this year will be the blip where everything just goes boop, like highly peaks. Ewok is the name of the streamer, by the way, the 14-year-old FaZe streamer. So yeah, she went to Mixer. Obviously, she is kind of most well known for being a deaf streamer. She obviously, as far as I'm aware, I've never watched any Ewok streams, uses sign language and so on stream. So I think that was kind of a nice message for Mixer in terms of not only do they take a big name from Twitch, but they take a female streamer, someone that has disabilities, and it shows that sort of accessibility side of things as well. But even still, despite taking 3 big names plus King Goliathan, who I've never even heard of, by the way, Twitch grew 101% in a time when people are kind of being forced to activate to engage with online content, whereas Mixer grew 0.2%. That is funny as fuck. That's amazing. 0.2%.
Less than 1K viewers.
So yeah, it does baffle me, and you've got to wonder how Microsoft moves forward with this. When do they stop the experiment? When is enough? Because 0.2% year over year, and if you got to think their numbers have been juked. They are riding the same peak that online services are riding right now. There'd be more people buying Disney Plus than would have happened. There'd be more people tuning into Netflix on their Aunt Judith's account, obviously, because you're not going to pay for that yourself. But there'd be more people watching Twitch, YouTube, and everything right now. So take that away. Would Mixer be on a decline year on year? They are 0.2% up. Without that, would they have been on a decline? And could next year's figures be horrendously drastic for them? Interesting to see. I mean, makes me more proud. I'm just going to reach over here and just pick up these shorts that I've got. Oh look, they have a Twitch logo on it. I feel really. I'm gonna wear these as I go for a 101% run today. I'm gonna joke. Take it back. Stop being a dick, Graham. Stop being a dick. Even porn stars stream games on Twitch. Now, no, not that I would know. Says Luke.
I'm following me, man. Oh. Pervy Luke.
Just to confirm, he did have "not that I would know" in caps. Like there,
But I don't see the point in that. Why would porn stars want to go onto Twitch? That makes no sense. Because why? Like, are they playing video games? I thought, they would be going on to something else.
Yeah, it's all about I'm a real person. Look, you can be friends with me, and then watch me get drilled by 7 blokes if you go over to my other website and sign up there, most likely, probably. But anyway, let's move on. I think that James Buckley is working his way to doing this full time.
I agree. The way he comes across in his streams, I mean, he seems like a proper genuine bloke, and I'd take what he says not with a pinch of salt. The way that he delivers it, he's either fantastic acting, I don't know, but he generally comes across like he doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, he's famous because of one series that he made his name in, and I think he's just probably going to be typecast. I mean, I watched White Gold, and that was phenomenal. Like, I absolutely love that, and I watched him in Rock and Chips as well. But he will forever be Jay from the In-Betweeners, and I think he actually puts that in his stream title as well, like Jay from the In-Between. That's what he's known for, and that's what he's typecast for. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just cashed in on that for the rest of his life with reruns and royalties and everything else that goes with it. It just makes his life on Twitch. He's very good at it. He's very good at the way that he treats his community. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what he wanted to do.
Luke, in comment to the Even Porn Stars streaming games on Twitch now, not that I would know, Craig says, which one? Asking for a friend. Luke says, I definitely don't know, but Sasha Grey. I said, met James when working on PES 2017. Top lad, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Did you see his stream when he dressed as Dr. Disrespect? I didn't even know this was a thing. No, I didn't.
I did. I sent you a picture of it.
Did you? Oh, I don't really pay attention to your messages. You're always.
I agree.
I'm joking. I can't remember that one. I don't remember that one.
It was about 2-3 weeks ago, maybe.
Clearly didn't resonate because I remember BB316 like the back of my hand, but I mean James Buckley as Dr. Spade clearly didn't resonate. So you're gonna have to try harder, Mr. Buckley. I'm joking. Anyway, last news story of the day. We're gonna wrap things up soon as we're over an hour into the hour-long podcast. So. Let me bring this up. And sticking with the narrative that we've had throughout most of the stream, Epic Games actually is pretty decent. Also, this stream is heavily sponsored by Epic Games, by the way. All our opinions.
I wish.
It's not, but it could be. GTA 5 is free to download and keep. So, ladies and gentlemen, Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC is free to download and keep on Epic's Game Store today. Potentially. So the rumours are true. GTA 5 on PC is free today, and if you download it before the end of next week, you'll be able to keep it for good. In the grand tradition of companies leaking their own secrets, Epic Games has revealed that Epic Games is going to offer GTA 5 for free later today. They accidentally put up a tweet early revealing the details, and although they quickly took it down again, fans on Reddit had already taken a screenshot. The tweet doesn't say exactly when the offer will go live, but there's a countdown timer for a mystery game on the store that ends at 4 p.m. British Summer Time. That's 4 p.m. today, UK time. So it's obviously that. You have to take advantage of the offer before Thursday, 21st of March, but other than that, there are no other caveats. So once you download the game, it's yours forever. For a short time, GTA 5 was also free on Xbox Game Pass before being replaced by the more recent Red Dead Redemption 2. The reason for that seems to be this Epic Games Store deal. Although the fact that it's equally short may mean some other company, or maybe Rockstar themselves, will get to discount the game next. Epic's free version will be the premium edition of GTA 5, which includes a lot of additional GTA Online content. GTA Online is the reason the game remains so popular and why Rockstar still hasn't so much as hinted about GTA 6 yet. Indeed, it's actually a little surprising that they haven't tried to make that part of the game free to play, but the fact that GTA 5 has barely even left the top 10 sales chart in the 7 years since it was first released explains that particular decision. Big news!
Yes, absolutely love this. I mean, if you are one of the it's got to be very few people left in the world that doesn't own this game on some sort of platform, then you are in for a treat. This game is phenomenal. There's like it says in the article, there's a reason why it's been in the top 10 for 7 years now. No game will even come close to beating this in terms of revenue. Well, Fortnite is obviously the main contender, but as a media entity, I think GTA 5 tops them all. So yeah, this is incredible.
It's ridiculous. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. God, how dare you release a game for free, like a bajillion years after it came out, a full freaking console generation later, plus some most likely, and people are still hyped about the fact that you can get it for free. It's like nobody was like, oh, Tucker Touring Cars 2 is free, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah.
That Lake's got in the chat there with the mouth open emoji, and he put, "Can you mod it in cars and such?" I have no idea. I bought this game. Was it the Rockstar launcher? I think we bought it so we could play multiplayer on the what's it called? Not the No Pixel one. I can't remember what the other one was called. The other server where you can mod it, and the GTA RP. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. The GTA RP mod. So I downloaded it on the Rockstar launcher. I have no idea using the Epic launcher whether or not you can still have access to be able to do that. No idea. But I mean, you're getting the premium version of the game, including all the online stuff. So yeah, it's it's a deal, but you're not paying for it. You know what I mean? It's like the best deal in video games at the moment.
It's ridiculous because it's a game that I mean, if all of that modding stuff is applicable to it, if the modders can tweak their stuff to make it work with the Epic Games Store, then you've got fucking a lifetime of fun there. And I've just noticed a comment that's pretty much exactly the same one that you've just said. I don't know if you can see it just below the picture there. GTA 5 free for those last people on Earth that don't already own a copy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like this is why I wanted this one to be covered at the end, because I like to finish on like a nice story. And this is, I always said Games Pass is the best value for money in the video games business at the moment. But if you have a PC that's capable of putting out high resolutions and all the other crap that goes along with it, this at the moment will be the best deal in video games. You're getting to play one of the best games ever made, the most popular game ever made, the most sought after online experience ever made, and you're getting it for free. It's unbelievable.
It is good. It's good. Jordan says, I don't see what's good about GTA Online. I tried playing the other day, but kept getting killed by someone flying around on hoverbike, flying around and nuking everywhere. Do you know, I do resonate with that, but
I do as well.
I haven't put enough time into it to also figure out if there's ways where you can not have that happen. If
you can turn it off.
Oh, okay. Well, I went in and I had someone killing me, and then it respawns you about 2 streets away. So he saw my blip come up, so he came after me again and killed me. And I was just like, what's the point? What's the point?
Shout out to LP if he's in the chat, because that is how he ruined my Xbox 360 GTA 5 experience, because every time I spawned in, it popped up, we've got Bijan Euros now live, and then he came over, rocket launched me, ran me over with an helicopter, and I never played it again on the 360 online. I waited until the PS4 when I knew he wasn't going to play. But yeah, it's a phenomenal game. I mean, if you have played this on your PS4 and you're playing it at 1080 or potentially 4K, if that's what you've got on the PS4 Pro, if you've got a better PC, download it again and play it on that. I did that, and the single player is still phenomenal. It looks amazing.
Yeah. Jordan there saying, I don't know where to start. I heard people can sell cars and do small crimes to build up, then you get clubs and bike gangs. My mate Nathan, he stopped it now, but he had his own crew or whatever they're called, Sons of Anarchy, something or other. And it was massive. I was a lieutenant in this crew, only because I'm mates with Nathan. I'm mates with the owner. But like, he had like shitloads of people doing runs and stuff for him. People he'd never even met, really, just online people working in his crew. I was like, what the fuck? This is amazing. But yeah, anyway, let's wrap things up. GTA 5 is free on the Epic Games Store for everyone. So if you haven't got GTA 5, it's not free now. I did have a look just to make sure before we went live, which is why I was saying I opened the Epic Games launcher and I said I'd talk about it later on. It's not there now, but there is the mystery countdown timer. It says so you can get a free game, can't remember what it was, but then at 4 p.m. today, a mystery game will unlock, and it's most likely to be GTA 5. Obviously, do take a small pinch because this hasn't been confirmed, but they leaked it, so it kind of has to be it, right? Surely, right? Well, we'll know by 4 p.m. tonight, so make sure you check out. If you're on PC, get the Epic Games launcher installed and you will be able to download GTA 5. I have an Xbox, but not to PC, and I have quite a new PC and I want to play GTA 5 again, so win for me. Absolutely, Lake. There you go. Win-win. Ghost of Tsushima will first look tomorrow. Yeah. It's quite a big week for video games. Like within the last week, we've had Inside Xbox, Unreal Engine have launched their content. The Ghost of Tsushima stuff is coming tomorrow, and the Masters of the League series kicked off to 3,668 people watching it live on Twitch. Yeah. Don't know if you saw that. We went live last night. Have I mentioned it that we got 3,668 people watching it as well? That's at once. We had about it was between 60 and 80,000 people. I can't quite remember what the total number of viewers was, but it was pretty big, pretty good. Tony Hawk's, yeah, exactly. Tony Hawk's 2. But what I am waiting, Mafia 1 Remake, been waiting for like 7 years. We will have that on tomorrow's episode of the Scoop League, so make sure you come back at 10 a.m.-ish UK time. We'll run over that and any other news that breaks in the time between now and then. But we are going to drop off today. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show. You sure you bet you. Damn right. Thank you very much. We'll see you then. But we are going to speak. If you have like what you see, then make sure you come back tomorrow. And if you have like what you've seen, then hit the follow button because you'll get notified when we go live again. Whether it's for a Master League stream, whether it's for a scoop, hitting the follow button will get you notified. But anything you want to add before I disappear, babe?
Of course, if you do see any video game news knocking around the social media platform of your choice, just like what Asim does and just like what Jordan does, they donate their stories to us with their thoughts and opinions. We take their thoughts and opinions, roll it up in a nice little ball, and give our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Graham Day?
10 a.m.-ish.
Yes, and also you need to follow us on our social media platforms, which is at Ice Cream Uploads, at We've Got Binyo, and at Graham_Day. We'll take your thoughts and opinions. Blah 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 blah.
The next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, also exclamation mark Discord. I've just typed it in the chat for you if you want to get involved. We added a few new sections to our Discord server last night on the back of our Master League stream. Long story short, we had a request. You can hear my gardener in the garden as if he's still around cutting grass. Well, it's amazing. Anyway,
Jim,
get out of here, Jim. Complete mental block. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we added a few bits. One of the requests was a fan TV section. So if you wanna be featured in our next Masters of the League broadcast, and you wanna just have a little bit of a comedy skit like you'd see on, say, Full Time Devils or Arsenal Fan TV or whatever, then check out the Discord. The link's there in the chat. If you don't, then don't. Just check out the Discord anyway. It's just there. Feel free to get involved. But we are going to disappear now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have access to the exclusive Ice Cream Upload emotes, you will have a blue one that says the word Stay Frosty. And the reason that says Stay Frosty is because whenever we end our stream, we try to G you up, and it's a nice way to end the stream. We usually say the word Stay Frosty. What do we say, babe?
We say Stay Frosty!
Stay Frosty!